good evening. I'm Willard Cheng, sitting in for Pinky Webb. Tonight, we ask the questions, we tackle the issues, we clarify matters, and we get on point. It's the fourth and final day of the confirmation of charges hearing of former President Rodrigo Duterte at the International Criminal Court. Let's get updates from Pinky Webb, who is monitoring developments in The Hague, Netherlands. Pinky, what has happened so far?
All right, Willard, the defense has already concluded its presentation on the merits or the evidence why former President Rodrigo Duterte should not be charged with crimes against humanity. At the start of the session, pre-trial Chamber 1 presiding judge Julia Motok reminded lead counsel Nicholas Kaufman to refrain from exposing the identities of the victims and the witnesses and respect the Chamber's decision on redactions. To recall, the broadcast of yesterday's hearing was cut, especially it was delayed at the first 10 minutes due to also redactions to protect sensitive information and identities. During the first session today, Kaufman countered the prosecution's statement involving former Albuera Leyte Mayor Rolando Espinosa and his cellmate Raul Yap. Kaufman claimed the case is largely premised on witnesses who claim to have heard but have not really seen anything. He also insisted there is no proof that police reports or other documents were falsified, despite claims made by trial lawyer Edward Jeremy. Kaufman also explained that the term high value target, or HVT, is not a code for an instruction to kill or a witch hunt.
It is no different from a similar acronym in another country where I have clients. APOTS, or Australian Priority Organisation Targets. HVT is not a code for an instruction to kill or a witch hunt. It was a prioritisation tool within anti-drug operations applied across regions and units on the basis of intelligence assessments, alleged position within drug networks, or inclusion on watch lists. Classification does not imply selection for murder, any more than it is proof of unlawful intent.
All right, Willard, I know you have a guest, but let's just bring in Kevin Manalo because the remarks, the closing statements rather, of the prosecution and the common legal representatives of victims, or CLRVs, has concluded real time, and he was watching it there at the courtroom at the gallery. Let's get some updates. Kevin, anong sabi ng highlights nung kay senior trial lawyer regarding the presentation, the closing statements?
Alam mo, Pinky, we saw a very confident prosecution team sa pangunguna yan ni senior trial lawyer Julian Nichols. Ilang beses na nating narinig sa depensa yung sinasabi nila na ang term na neutralize, it means pag-aresto. Pero nilinaw ni senior trial lawyer Nichols na ang ibig sabihin ng neutralize ay to kill.
Naging sentro yan ng usapin talaga, itong neutralize. Ano ba ibig sabihin ng neutralize? Okay.
So base yan sa mga witness accounts na sinubmit sa list of evidence ng prosecution, ang sabi nila, malinaw dito na ang sinasabi ng neutralize ay para pumatay. At ang sinasabi pa ni senior trial lawyer Nichols ay dapat daw magbasa si Kaufman ng maigi dahil may mga definition doon sa kanilang isinumitang pre-confirmation brief.
Doon nakapaloob yung pre-confirmation brief, at meron pang isa kasi yung DCC. Tapos ngayon nagsasalita kasi si Attorney Gilbert Andres. He is the lawyer for the victims. What did he say?
Maganda yung sinabi ni Attorney Gilbert Andres dun sa huli. Sabi niya, merong Supreme Court ruling na doon sa 2017 year-end report ng Administrasyong Duterte, they're taking pride on the report kung saan almost 4,000 yung mga napatay na drug suspects. So para sa CLRV, sa mga abogado ng mga biktima, malinaw ito na state-sponsored ang mga pagpatay.
Dahil yun pa rin yung isang topic na pinag-uusapan dito, was it widespread or not? So yun ang
Exactly.
sinasabi niya dun sa numerong yon. Pero hindi kasi numerong pinag-uusapan dito di ba? Hindi lang numero. They have to prove either if it's widespread or random. Yan yung magkabilang argumento. So, so far, Willard, that's the latest here from the Media Center. I'm with Kevin Manalo. Willard, back to you.
Pinky, Kevin, after this, it's the turn of the defense, right, to close their arguments.
That's right. It's a 1.5-hour break, Willard. It'll begin at 2 p.m. o 2:30 ba?
2 p.m.
2 p.m. ang magiging closing remarks naman ng defense. And of course, we're expecting that from Attorney Nicholas Kaufman. And then, of course, the review of detention of the former President Willard.
Thank you so much, Pinky Webb and Kevin Manalo, reporting to us live from The Hague, Netherlands. We'll just take a short break, and when we return, we'll speak with former Senator Antonio Trillanes about recent accusations allegedly meant to discredit the ICC. Stay tuned. This is On Point. Welcome back. A former senator pushes back against recent revelations that he believes were meant to discredit the confirmation of charges hearing of former President Rodrigo Duterte at the ICC. Let's now get on point with former Senator Antonio Trillanes. Thank you, sir, for joining us, and good evening.
Good evening, Willard, and to our viewers.
Sen. Sunny, let me start by asking your reaction to the challenge of ex-Congressman Mike Defensor for you to show proof that a car used in the press conference of the alleged former Marines was registered to his family. Will you show evidence, and what evidence would you have?
Yes, there was already a CCTV footage of the ex-soldiers boarding and leaving the vans used during the press con. Ano ito, na-identify yung mga plate numbers at nakita nga na nakaregister yon sa wife ni Mike Defensor. So maliwanag yon. And in fact, umatras na siya. Umatras na si Mike Defensor. Inamin niya na nagsusupport siya sa logistics kasi alam niyang we already have the evidence of his participation dito sa gimmick nila na to nung Tuesday. So ano na yan, established na yan. Nissan Urban yung ginamit, color white. So the plate number was identified, and may CCTV footage mismo na sumasakay at bumababa yung mga sundalo, yung mga dating sundalo.
Senator, at this point of the confirmation of charges hearing, why is it important for the people to know who funded the press conference of the Marines? And can you tell us who really funded it?
Based on our initial information, ang nagpondo nito ay Duterte Camp. At ang intention nila is to tarnish the reputation of the ICC, to sabotage even the whole ICC proceedings. Kaya kaya nila ginawa ito at that particular time, no? Biruin nyo, Tuesday, habang nangyayari itong proceeding sa The Hague. And to think na itong issues naman nila ito, na mga mali-maleta na ito, last year pa ito, mga third quarter last year, in fact, tama, mga ganung panahon, August, September, sana doon sila lumabas nung panahon nung lumabas si Gutesa kung talaga matatapang sila. 'Di ba? That was the best time to go out into the open and declare. Pero even nung mga panahon na 'yon, wala namang ugong-ugong, walang rumor ni walang word about anything going to the ICC, no? Going to me or to the ICC or both, kung ano man. Tapos ngayon sila naglabas ng ganyan. Yan po yun.
At sir, do you agree doon sa sinabi ng palasyo na maaaring motibo daw ni Congressman Defensor ay tanggalin si President BBM at i-install si VP Sara?
Definitely, no? Sabi ko nga, dalawa ang primary objective dito. Isa is para isabotage yung ICC proceedings, para mag-declare sila ng mistrial o kung ano man, para yun na nga, mapawalan sala o ma-dismiss yung kaso ni Digong. Pangalawang objective nila is dahil ginawa ito on the eve of the EDSA People Power Revolution anniversary, may kita mo na nag-agitate sila. They were hoping magti-trigger ito ng some kind of public outrage na matatimingan doon sa mag-rally ng EDSA. Kaso, hindi nila na-attain yun kasi hindi naman ito pinansin kasi questionable nga yung credibility. So yun na yun, yung destabilization angle and the ICC angle. Kaya nila ginawa ito.
And in a radio interview, sir, si Attorney Levy Baligod admitted that he may have made a mistake sa pagsama kay Congresswoman Laila De Lima doon sa list of officials who allegedly received cash deliveries. Your reaction to that?
Actually, hindi lang yan ang mistake niya. The whole thing is a big mistake. At hindi natin to papatawarin. We will make sure na they will suffer the consequences of their actions. Obvious yung kanilang agenda. Akala niya talagang it was a media or publicity coup of some sort. Pero it blew back into their faces kasi questionable yung credibility nilang lahat. At for them to tarnish people just like that, hindi natin kailangan na palagpasin yan.
And are you really bent on filing a complaint, sir, against those behind the press con, the alleged ex-Marines, and even Attorney Baligod?
Yes, for sure. Kakasuhan natin yan, si Baligod, si Mike Defensor, si Jay Sonsa, meron pang 18 na yung mga ex-soldiers na yan. Tapos meron pang ibang mga personalities doon na kakasuhan ko din next week. So matatapos na yung initial draft. So once makita ko na yun, ipa-file na namin yun kaagad sa DOJ para mas malawak yung sakop.
Cyber libel ho ba, sir? O may iba pang kaso?
Cyber libel, tapos marami pang mga violations sa provisions ng Revised Penal Code.
Mapunta naman tayo, Sen, sa ICC hearing. Ano ho ang assessment ninyo sa takbo ng confirmation of charges and were you satisfied with the prosecution's arguments?
Yes, I'm very satisfied with the presentation of the different lawyers of the prosecution panel. Talagang very substantial yung evidence na pinakita nila at na-prove nila yung kanilang strategy, no? Yung legal strategy nila to eventually push for the conviction of Duterte. So pinakita na nila samplers ng mga ebidensya, papakita nila sa korte. Kaya I'm very much confident that in the end, magagrant ito at magtutuloy-tuloy ito sa trial which would start probably ng May or June. Ito kasing defense, itong sila Kaufman, makita nyo naman, he was in fact addressing yung kanyang presentation sa mga supporters ni Duterte. Kasi wala namang counter evidence silang pinakita. Basically, they were trying to say there was no direct order. Pero ang pagkakamali niya dito ay dyan sa crimes against humanity, in fact, yung pagbibigay ng direct order ng presidente na pumatay is not essential or not even necessary. Bonus na lang yun, ika nga. Ang pinakang hinahanap dito at dapat niyang present ay ginawa ni Duterte bilang presidente ang lahat ng pwede niyang gawin para pigilan yung patayan. So, yun dapat ang present niya para maabsuelte yung kanyang kliyente. Kasi yun ang the best defense sa crimes against humanity case. Kasi ang ginawa niya, hindi siya nag-utos lang daw, sabi ni Kaufman. Pero baliktad, 'di ba? Siya yung nag-instigate at ito ay inimplement ng PNP at other elements na kasabwat nung kanilang National Death Squad. Kaya lumaganap yung patayan. Kasi kung talagang hindi siya kasabwat diyan, being president, dapat nung first month pa lang na nagpapatayan, sinabihan niya na yung kanyang PNP chief na imbestigahan niyo yan, kailangan mahinto yan. Nung pangalawang buwan, nagpatayan pa rin, dapat pinagtatanggal niya na sa pwesto yung mga iba't ibang PNP commanders. Ganon ang actions ng isang hindi kasabwat sa ganyang mga gawain.
And there has been much ado, sir, about the use of the word neutralize doon pa lang sa memorandum circular na in-issue ni then PNP Chief Bato de la Rosa at yung significance ng word na ito doon sa high-value targets at sa anti-drug operations as a whole. Naging miyembro po kayo ng militar. Let me get your insight. Nagagamit din ho ba ang word na neutralize sa AFP at ano ba ang kahulugan nito?
Sa security sector, pag sinabing neutralize, itutumba mo, papatayin mo. Walang ibig sabihin niya na aarestuhin mo. Otherwise, ang ilalagay mong word, to arrest. You will arrest high-value targets. Yun yung gagawin mo. So sa security sector, neutralize means kill. Walang ambiguity doon. Pero, as pointed out correctly by the prosecution, sinabi nila, even assuming na na hindi yun ang ibig sabihin, pero ganun yung ginawa. Pinatay eh. Dapat kung ikaw yung nag-i-issue ng memorandum, tapos ang nakalagay doon neutralize, tapos pinatay, tapos hindi yun ang ibig mo sabihin, dapat inimbestigahan mo yung mga nagsuway sa'yo at clarify mo dapat yun. Yung memorandum mo para walang ambiguity. Kaso walang ganun nangyari. Precisely because that was their intention.
Sir, would you know if an arrest warrant has also been issued against the co-perpetrators, among them Senator Bato de la Rosa, Senator Bongo, and former Justice Secretary Aguirre?
Ito po, ang masasabi natin, at most, 4 na lang yung i-issuehan ng warrant. Okay? Marami doon, yung 4 na iba pa, yung isa kasi namatay na, yung iba hindi na yan aabutin. But they were labeled as co-perpetrators based on their role doon sa extrajudicial killing, sa crimes against humanity in general. Ngayon, hindi kasi natin talaga pwedeng confirm or i-deny yung existing of warrants. So mangyari na lang dito, it is up to Bato and the others kung may warrant nga o wala. If they feel walang warrant, di lumabas sila. Then they will know kung meron ngang warrant o wala.
Kung meron
diba? Just like yung nangyari kay Digong.
Oo. Kung meron ho kayong unsolicited advice dito sa mga na-identify na co-perpetrators, ano po yun, sir? Tingin niyo ho ba dapat ho silang tumulong sa kaso ni former President Duterte?
Yan ang paraan kasi na para matanggal sila dito sa ICC case. Mag-participate sila, mag-cooperate sila. Kagaya ni Las Cañas, si Las Cañas talagang isa sa ginamit na sa mga unang pagpatay diyan sa Davao Death Squad, pero hindi niya kinayanan ng konsensya niya. Siya na ngayon yung naging parang state witness against Duterte. At yan na yung kanyang simula ng lakbay para magkaroon siya ng personal and spiritual redemption. So yan po, sana ang gawin nila. Kasi yung nasabi ko na kahit hindi lahat ng co-perpetrators ay mai-issuean ng warrant, pero pwede pa rin silang makasuhan dito nung local case natin ng Republic Act 9851. So at some point, ganun na mangyayari. Yung mga mga mastermind na mga matataas ang posisyon, sila yung kakasuhan, lilitisin sa ICC, all the rest dito na sa ating bansa.
Former Senator Antonio Trillanes, maraming salamat po. Thank you for your time.
Maraming salamat po sa inyo.
And that's On Point. Join us again on Monday, 7:30 p.m. here on BNC, the Billionario News Channel. I'm Willard Cheng, sitting in for Pinky Webb. Thank you for watching.